Along with Augusta Industrial Services CEO David Beckum, I'm Neil Gordon, continuing part 2 of our discussion on ESOP and defined, that is?
Employee Stock Ownership Plan.
Excellent. And for folks who didn't see part 1, how do your employees, qualify to become a member of the ESOP program?
Well, to qualify, there's certain rules. You have to be 21 years old, and you have to work. You have to be there a year or 1,000 hours.
What's so impressive about your company at AIS is you're just one of 2 companies in the Augusta area offering the program. Do you know the name of the other?
Yeah, well, according to the Georgia Center for Employee Ownership, we are one of 2, with the other one being Georgia Cryo Services.
Okay. It's got to make you feel accomplished.
I think so.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Now, when we go into the entire Peach State, it seems to be more.
Yeah, there's about 150 in
Okay.
Georgia, and that includes about 29,000 participants or employee owners, and about 37 of them are in Atlanta, and they're pretty spread out across the state as well.
I remember several months ago in Aiken, we covered a story of another company that has an ESOP program, and they do metal roofing and located in Aiken, 43 participants, and they're one of not too many really in South Carolina.
Yeah, I think there's about 50.
Okay.
So they're 43 of about 10,000 employees.
The other reason, I guess, to do this was similar with your company is the founder wanted to have some sort of a succession plan, but do things the right way.
Exactly. So if you start thinking about this, or if you're already thinking about succession, that's a long-term plan. So, 5 years to 10 years is a good time to really start thinking about it. And what's great about an ESOP is that it can occur, and it gives the owner plenty of time to transfer out, because the main thing you want to do is have a great management team in place.
That's right. And longevity and retention and all of those key buzzwords, I suppose.
Right. If you're selling your company to an ESOP, you better make sure that they can pay the note.
Well said, definitely. We're continuing our chat with the CEO of Augusta Industrial Services, David Beckum. Online to look for some employment opportunities, AugustaIndustrial.com. They have more than 100 employees, but always looking for additional ones.
That's right.
And boy, the world we live in, Democrats and Republicans, it seems like they don't always agree on a whole lot of different things.
They don't agree on much.
But they seem across the aisle all to like ESOPs.
Yeah, because, in the U.S. and everywhere, really, there's a lot of talk about wealth inequality and upward mobility. Both sides of the House agree that this is a problem. The differences are in the policies to solve the problem. Fortunately, liberals, moderates, conservatives all agree on employee ownership.
Yeah, I wondered if you could compare someone that is maybe doing retirement savings, if they're part of an ESOP, an employee-owned type program, versus, say, regular folks that might work at a factory not far from you in Augusta.
Yeah, so what we know through different studies and research is that if you're an employee owner, you typically have about 2.2 times more in your retirement plan.
Mm-hmm.
ESOPs are a unique retirement benefit. Unlike 401ks, most ESOPs require no out-of-pocket contributions from employees. So all you have to do is show up and do a great job and make your company successful. You're a part of it, and you're adding to your retirement.
Wow.
Recent in those studies, they found that just about half of all non-government employees participate in a retirement plan at work.
Mm-hmm.
And still, 35% of private sector employees don't have access to an employer-sponsored plan.
And there's higher income from wages, of course.
So the ESOP Association found out through their research that over 93% of ESOPs offer both an ESOP retirement plan as well as a 401k. So you have two forms of retirement.
Wondering if there's any studies ever done on productivity for someone that might work in an ESOP company versus ones that do not?
There are. An ESOP builds a stronger company, and it increases efficiencies and productivity, and it's at least 5% more productive based on some older research. I think it's higher, a little bit higher than that now.
Time to talk layoffs. So you have more than 120 employees. How many people have you laid off in the last several years?
We haven't laid anybody off. There was a couple of people that we had to had to let go for core value reasons.
A few bad apples can spoil a bunch. So understandable.
We haven't laid anybody off for business reasons.
Right.
Since pre-COVID. Matter of fact, we've increased since our COVID numbers. We started COVID with about 80, and right now we're at 120.
Do you find that ESOP companies hang on to their employees more so than other companies?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The research says that an ESOP employee has a 53% longer tenure with the company that they're with. That goes a lot to the culture that comes along with the ESOP. When you transition to an ESOP, hopefully you've got a good culture when you do that, and the employees get to stay right along with that culture. If an owner would have decided to sell to an equity firm or an outside party, you're not always sure what culture you're going to get.
We're continuing with David Beckum, who's the CEO of Augusta Industrial Services, online at augustaindustrial.com. And how has this helped AIS?
Well, AIS, I mean, we've growth has been great. So we have our We Own It culture. That's what we call it. It's allowed us to attract top industry talent from across the country or even close by. The word of mouth from existing employees does wonders. People in our industry, they talk a lot. There's Facebook groups that they get on that focus specifically on our industry. And the word of mouth is just great because word has gotten out that we treat people differently. One of the things that happened when we became an ESOP and we started to grow, I had always been, hands-on, boots on the ground in the field doing industrial cleaning. And I realized real quickly that I was now in the people business.
Well said, definitely. While we have you here, I know with 120 employees and you're always growing, are there particular types of positions you're trying to fill?
Well, always we have a need for field employees. Those are the boots on the ground that are out doing the works, the different jobs, and specifically commercial drivers. Yep. Supervisors, project managers, all of those are required to grow because as soon as you start adding more people, you have to have more projects. And with more projects, require more project managers.
And before we let you go, if there's someone watching this who is an owner of a company or a high-level C-suite manager thinking about having their company be part of the ESOP plan, what are the tax advantages?
Yeah, so since we have agreement on both sides of the house about employee ownership, they've done things to make this very attractive. This started back in 1974, and then it progressed along. And in 1988, they came up with some more rules to make it more attractive. So there's advantages for C Corps and S Corps. Both of them, if you were the seller of the company to the ESOP, you can defer capital gains, if not eliminate them altogether, which is very important in planning your future. In a S Corp, which is what Augusta Industrial is now,
right?
If you're 100% ESOP owned, you become 100% income tax free, federal and state in Georgia.
Whoa!
So
say that again.
Yeah, so for the percentage you are owned by an ESOP, you get that percentage income tax free. So if you're 100%, you're 100% income tax free.
Wow.
Federal and state.
Because you think about no state income tax, I'm thinking Texas and Florida.
Yeah, and this is for the company.
Yeah.
So The participants still pay
I see.
their income
But
tax.
the company-wise, that's an interesting benefit I don't think people really know about.
It is, and what's unique about that is that frees up a lot of money that makes the purchase of the company possible. So the company is now taking the money that they used to pay in taxes, and they're using to pay the note that they've taken on the purchase of the company. And once that's paid, it opens you up for all types of things, whether it's growth, equipment purchases, acquisitions, and of course, repurchase obligations when you're buying people back out of the ESOP as they retire.
If you'd like to learn more about this ESOP program, David is also one of our thought leaders on AugustaBusinessDaily.com, and you'll be able to go to his unique micro web page, and it will have all of the podcasts and all of the information about the ESOP program. And of course, you can also go online to AugustaIndustrial.com. David, thank you so much. This is an area that folks don't know about, and I think it's just a goal for everyone down the road.
Yeah, everybody needs to be thinking about what they're going to do. There's plenty of options out there. This is just one, and it worked great for us.
And he is available to talk you through it and help. You're a champion for the cause.
Can at least get them to the right person.
Exactly. Thank you, David. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Neil.